make it. They said I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't amount to anything, anything, anything. So no matter what people say, gonna love you anyway. And I shall live and not die, die, die. I'm gonna live my life abundantly, and I'll fulfill.
Man, I don't care what kind of event it is. As long as Black Sauce is in the building, the food is going to be right. That's what I'm talking about. Order yours today. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another segment of the Music Industry Makeover. DJ Ronnie, Ron, Simone, Henry, and Dray, the producer. How y'all guys doing out there?
Doing well.
Yeah. Okay.
Glad we survived that Category 1 hurricane that came up through the coast.
Oh yeah, I think we were getting a little bit of it ourselves too. Yeah, and so, man,
little bit of Elsa.
Elsa, that's right. Yeah. Not Elsa, but Elsa. Man.
Yeah, I had them little kids going outside trying to sing "Let It Go" in the rain and the wind.
Oh man, yeah, man. Well, yes, thank God for His protection, and thank you all so much for tuning in. All right, hey, make sure you go and join us on the musicindustrymakeover.com. All right, and you can see all the things that we have. We're marketing promotions company, advertising, and so anything that if you're doing a book, if you're an author, entrepreneur, or an artist. As this show is designed for artists out there to promote, and hey, this is what we do. Make sure you get in contact with us. All right. Also, we just want to thank God for all the things that He's doing, and hey, things are changing in the music industry. Thank you to all our advertisers that you see on the screen as well. If you're interested in wanting to advertise, feel free to get in contact with us. All right, we'd love to have you, and follow me all over Linktree. All right, hey, you can see everything that I'm doing on Linktree. So with DJ Ronnie Ron. Man, we thank God for what He's doing. Simone, what's going on with you? Hey, what's up with Eshe Music? Hey,
I am hanging out with the folks from the IGAA this weekend.
Okay.
This weekend is the IGAA conference. Mm-hmm. And they are probably still in the middle of the worship service tonight. And then tomorrow we have another full day.
Okay.
I'm speaking on digital advertising for artists.
Digital advertising. Okay.
Yeah. And then Saturday half day, there's, they're going to be critiquing some music. And then Friday night, of course, there is the award show.
Okay. So is this virtual or physical as well?
It's virtual. It's all virtual this year. Next year, we're planning to be back, together in a room, in a church or something somewhere.
Right.
But this year we're virtual.
Beautiful. Okay. Well, good. Well, hey, for those who are at the conference, hey, have a good time. Learn all you can. You got some awesome presentations. Some awesome presenters there that'll give you some valuable information. So, hey, and we have one of them on here right now. So awesome. D-Ray, what's going on, man? Hey, everything good with you?
Maintaining. Still working with our kids' film camp here in Salisbury, North Carolina. Still working with Soul Res Music. Got some releases coming out in the next few weeks. And I've been invited by our co-host Tamika Hall to teach a course on Facebook ads. And so in the next few weeks, in the next few weeks, we'll be talking about the thing that she's doing with authors, and she's putting together a brilliant track record with independent authors and getting them published and getting them placed in stores. And so I'll be talking about Facebook ads for that particular thing that's going to happen in August. And Beautiful. So as you stay tuned, we'll keep you up to date on information from that.
There you go. Awesome. Yes. Congrats to Tamika out there. She's doing it big for sure. All right. Well, hey, look, you all spread the word. Hey, this is what we do. Man, I think it's been going on like 3 years now since we're doing our music industry makeover. Wow. Man. Time is flying by.
Time is indeed flying.
Yes, and there's those that look forward to seeing the program and learning, and that's the key is consistency. You have to be consistent in whatever it is that you're doing, and consistent visibility, marketing and promote, because that's what we talk about. That is our foundation, marketing and promote. You got to be consistently in front of people's faces, your ears, faces. Hey, they need to know who are you, that know, like, and trust. So yes, I give God all the praise for it. Hey, is it easy? No, there's sometimes you don't feel like coming on, but you know what? You have to know your why. As Danny says, we all preach it. Know your why. Why are you doing this? And what my main why is to again help independent artists out there, teach y'all some valuable lessons on marketing and promotions, seeing you all succeed, especially gospel artists out there. All right, whether it's gospel or Christian, the music industry is still the same. Yeah, go ahead.
No.
Okay. Yeah.
I thought someone was about to say something.
Yeah. yeah. So I always had that look. Okay. So yeah, y'all have any questions or comment? We're supposed to have a guest on. I guess they're running a little bit later. So that's been in the music industry for over 40 years. His name is Mr. Paul Porter, but not Paul Porter from the Christianaires now. Hey, that would be good to have him on. Yes, because he's a legend. But we try to bring in some guests that are in the industry and that have been in it, and from artists to executives and things, and so that they can reiterate some of the things that we've been telling you all out there, and and possibly y'all can gain some nuggets from that.
Yeah.
All right.
So while we're waiting on our guests to come, I got to talk about this documentary I saw yesterday.
Okay. Yes.
We normally every now and then, if you followed us for the last year or so, every now and then we'll give you some homework and tell you, hey, you guys got to go see this. It was the Black Godfather with Clarence Avon.
Yes, that was very good. Yes.
Quincy Jones documentary, both of those are on Netflix. We said, hey, you got to go. Well, this is the one that you have got to see. It's on Hulu. It's called Summer of Soul.
Yeah. Yes, I got to see that.
Oh my goodness, guys! I'm not gonna give everything away, but the fact that you can, I'm gonna just put it to you like this: Mahalia Jackson, Mahalia Jackson passed away unfortunately January of 1972. I was born October of 1972.
March.
Right. So she passed away before both of us was born. She and Mavis Staples sing "Precious Lord" on this documentary. And I mean, she takes all of Harlem to church. Both of them. And, and it's in living color. It's like, wow, that is Mahalia Jackson.
Okay, I think you froze up there.
Am I freezing?
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Now I'm saying it again. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, good. I said that's not the only thing. 19-year-old Stevie Wonder jumping behind a drum set and whamming away and showing the world that in fact he is one of the best drummers out there. Sly and the Family Stone, Fifth Dimension with Marilyn McCoob and Billy Davis Jr. And I mean Edwin Hawkins singers. This documentary is like gold, like literal gold. It is on Hulu and it is in the movie theaters. And
I was wondering about that. Yeah, see how interesting that they combined the two, the movie theaters and on streaming.
Right. And I think they did that right. And I think they did it as more of a pandemic thing
Yeah.
You know, for those of us who aren't really comfortable still going to the movie theater, you still have the opportunity to see it. But it's probably one of the best music concert documentaries I've ever seen, and I'm gonna just put that out there.
I was
Just
looking at
literally.
the trailer for it. It looks a lot like a Black Woodstock.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Well, ironically, the funny thing that you said that one of the reasons why it was overlooked was because the real Woodstock was going on at the same time as this festival was going on. And so the story was, of course, previous year Dr. King was assassinated, and the city was on edge due to riots and things of that nature. And so NYPD wouldn't provide security for this concert. So the Black Panther Party stepped up and they did security. You can see them on the documentary doing the security for this concert.
Wow.
It is completely mind-blowing. I would recommend anybody, if you're a music lover, I don't care if you're a musician, DJ, marketer, whatever, you got to take a couple hours to sit down and watch this thing. It's incredible.
I'm definitely going to go check that out. Yes, because there's a lot of rich history in Black music, and they actually played instruments and sang back then compared to what we hear today.
Look, imagine that. Imagine that.
Yes. So, wow. Hey, look, they didn't pay us to advertise them or so, but again, something that's going to help you all as artists out there. We think that you should definitely go and support. It all depends on how bad you want to grow as an artist. All right. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Man. Well, hey, look, this is Music Industry Makeover. Anything that those are watching, any questions that you may have for us, pertaining to marketing and promotions, or or you as an artist, what any direction that that you're looking to go in. So feel free to hit us up, let us know, because we take questions and comments. And Danny, now you had sent something, the BMACMIA report.
Right. Here. So we could go ahead and pivot to that. That is
I can pull it up too if you want.
Yeah, go ahead and let's do that. Okay. Basically, the Black Music Action Coalition, which is a new organization that was founded about a year ago in response to the murder of George Floyd. And all of the social that was going on last year during the pandemic. There was an action committee that was created to shine a light and to show how Black folks have contributed to the record industry, and how the record industry may not be as diverse as it should be. And so they basically gave the record industry a report card based on certain factors such as diversity. Are they following through with their plans or promises or whatever? I found it very, very interesting. One of the things that they were talking about, because we're always talking about on this show that the music industry is not dying, it's actually evolving. So I found this to be very interesting. It says in the report, under 2020 in Black music, album and single sales were down, but overall audio consumption was up. And hip hop and R&B remained the most popular genre for the third year in a row. Urban music owned 1/3 of the total music market, with Black artists putting up several of the most storied projects and moments of the year. So, one third of the music industry is hip hop and R&B. And they broke it down with the end of the year charts. Seven of the top 10 most consumed albums of 2020 were either hip hop or R&B. 9 of the top 10 digital songs were rap and R&B. All of the top 10 on-demand streams were either R&B or hip hop, and 8 of the top 10 were demand video.
Wow.
Wow, wow, wow. Well, I was trying to see if they had a see if they had a chart on that or whatever. Yeah, no,
right. Where I was is on. They say they got the chart from Billboard, so I'm assuming that that's where they're pulling their stuff from.
okay. No, I was.
Yeah,
go ahead.
go ahead.
No, I was looking on here to see if there was if they had a printout, a layout of what you just said, like a graph.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That was on page. What page is this?
There's 37 pages on here.
Yeah, it's page 7.
7. Okay.
Yeah, go to page 7, and
All
then
right.
and if you guys are interested in reading this, Google BMAC MIA report card, Music Industry Association report card, and you should be able to follow the links to download this PDF. If you're really serious about your career, if you're really serious about making a mark, you do market research, and this is market research. Finding out the industry, finding out your competition, and the report also goes further to give the big record companies grades on their stance on racial inequity. Do they have any black folks in leadership? And some of these record companies didn't score very well. Warner Brothers, the Recording Academy Association didn't really score that well because they have very little African American brown representation on the senior level. They even gave a grade to streaming platforms.
Really?
They said, yeah, they did. Amazon Music got a satisfactory. Apple Music got a needs improvement.
Oh, yeah, here it is right here. Yeah.
Let's
see. Let's see. The initial corporate statement and UMG, the lowest finance, they have a B. The company, okay. All right. Well, yeah. I'm not going to go through it. Yeah.
Right. And so with the streaming platforms, they rated the streaming platforms and they asked 3 essential questions. Did the company make a statement or pledge or promise at all during any of the racial strife of 2020? Did it reflect the company's connection to Black culture? Was it superficial, temporary, or actual commitment? And did they follow through? So Amazon got a pass. Apple Music needs improvement, they said. Spotify, satisfactory. YouTube, aka Google. Yep. Tidal. Pandora on the other hand. Woohoo!
Unsatisfactory. Man.
Yeah, imagine that.
Oh, you Pandora listeners, huh? Yeah, that is deep, ain't it?
Isn't that funny? Isn't that something? So it also goes through live music and touring.
Live Nations. AEG, unsatisfactory.
Yep. So
UTA, I don't know them. ICM.
Right.
Okay.
Do they look at some of these ticketing sites too? Because some of them, like I know Ticketmaster has been dinged several times for their unfair practices. The payment gateway, Square, has been they've been unfair to independent artists and saying that and holding on to their money when they make sales, saying that they're high risk.
Wow.
And that's one reason why I don't recommend Square to anybody for their payment gateway. And I'm like, yeah, and if you're going to use PayPal, use it to collect the money and then remove that money immediately into your bank account.
Agreed.
Because they like to hold on to people's money too.
Agreed.
Yeah, and PayPal doesn't have the friendliest of customer service either, because you're essentially talking to somebody in Europe. So if there's a problem, it's usually like a 5 to 10 business day turnaround with, trying to call and send emails. And so, the thing about Square, Simone, I agree with you when they say high risk. What they are trying to, I guess, say about a lot of these cash transactions is they're trying to curb
Hey, Los.
Hey, Los.
Yeah. All right.
Trying to curb what?
Possibility going
Hey, you broke up, Danny.
Yeah, I was saying. Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
You're
you
saying they were trying to
curb.
curb something.
Curb money laundering, perhaps. A lot
now
of
you froze again.
All right. Yeah, you back on.
Am I back on? Somebody don't want me to say what this is. Money, I was going to say money laundering, and a lot of that stuff. So I'm just still going through it, but yeah, I find it very interesting. But there are two essential questions that I have. Two essential questions. Where is Gospel Music's Coalition report? And where is Gospel Music's marketing reports? What's going on? Where is Christian hip hop's marketing reports? Where is
definitely not there?
Where is Christian hip hop's coalition? What's going on?
No structure.
Is Christian hip hop still is it considered a mainstream part of the gospel music industry, or is it still considered an underground genre?
That's a good question.
Ron would know better than I do, but if I had to take a guess, I would say it has never been mainstream. As close to mainstream
exactly
might be Lecrae.
Which means that you're not gonna see this kind of report for Christian hip hop, because I mean, if it's an underground genre, none of the industry people and people who study it are paying attention to it. And I mean, and if the people who are paying attention to Christian hip hop, they're keeping it within the community. They're not putting it out there for mainstream journalists and mainstream people to see what's going on.
Kind of like what Josh was saying here. CHH reports are mainly submitted to record pools. Now, Josh, for those who don't know, he used to work with Jam the Hype, and that was one of the outlets for Christian hip hop and things. And so, yes, I mean, they pretty much they submitted to the record pool. But bottom line, I say there's no structure in Christian hip hop. And that's why we don't have reports like this. And once the structure actually comes, then that's where the organization of the genre will be taken for relevancy, I feel. Right. So again, and those exactly. Yes. Not right now. Yeah, there is no structure. And I would even go as well. There is a little bit of a structure in the gospel, but see, it all encompasses, there's gospel music, then there's urban gospel. Christian hip hop is up under the urban gospel with the spoken word, reggae, pop, you know what I'm saying? Well, pop would probably say just Christian. CCM.
CCM.
Yeah, everybody's trying to be seen around. Yeah, that's well, that's another issue there. So but
that might be a critical dialogue music edition conversation.
Yeah, culture vultures, but it is what it is.
Yeah. you know what was funny though? I was talking about the documentary, and they had a brief talk with Pop Staples.
Yes.
He was on there, Staple Singers, and Mavis was talking about how her and her dad and her sister, the group started, and he was playing blues. Basically, all of the stuff that he was playing was blues, and they were singing gospel to it, and they would get invited to blues festivals, they would get invited to folk festivals, but they're doing gospel, but he's playing the blues. And a lot of artists that were on the documentary, like the Edwin Hawkins singers, because they were singing "Oh Happy Day," Mahalia Jackson, who was one at that time one of the most recognizable and fiscally, monetarily successful gospel artists on the planet. They were getting pushback from people in the church because they felt like they were too successful. They felt like they were too quote unquote worldly, and this was 1969. So can you imagine that that's a battle that's still being fought now?
It's just crazy. Like, when are we ever going to?
Right.
Yeah. When are we ever going to evolve from this crazy argument?
Right. And so that I found that to be very, very interesting. Because once again, my opinion of Christian hip hop is until it gets some kind of order, it's gonna always be like a self. It's always going to be an experiment that eats itself. Somebody's gonna always come up with the winning solution. The experiment's going to eat itself, and the industry is going to always have to start over. Because you think about Lecrae, who's next? And if you can't think of anybody that's next, then you're proving my point.
Wow. I want to go and look at even this report here too. How in 2020, 2019 says reported revenue music $4.17 billion. That's 2019. 2020, $4.51 billion during this pandemic.
Yeah. Because people were staying at home listening to music. You didn't have anywhere to go. You were locked up with your family. A lot of people were playing games. A lot of people was on their PlayStations and their Xboxes and
Twitch and all that. Yeah.
Twitch. You're supposed to be on a Zoom meeting and you might have PlayStation playing in the background. It was just so many things that people, so many things that they used for a means of escape. It's no surprise that revenue went up.
Wow, $4.51 billion, which shows, there's money in the music industry. You have to be wise enough on how to get it, handle your business.
What I've always said is like the people and artists, they have to be smart about making money in this industry, because right now, where everybody's talking about how artists aren't making any money, but there's all this money flowing. You know who's making the money? People who control the flow of the music, the labels, the aggregators, your digital service providers, all of these people who are controlling how you see it and hear it and feel it and all that stuff. They're the ones that are making the money. And it's time for artists to step up and, like you always say, Ron, create your own platform and keep some of that money for yourself. Because, there's all these people out here who are paying their $9 a month or $9.99 a month to get on to, to listen to all the music that they want to listen to. On YouTube, Spotify, Deezer, wherever else. If they're willing to do that, then you as an artist should be able to go to those same people and say, hey, if you're willing to support my music by sending that money directly to me instead of to the digital service providers, I can provide some value for you, People have money to spend. You just have to figure out a way to ask them. Ask and you shall receive.
I think Simone, I agree with you in principle, but none of that's going to work without a fan base. And
absolutely. Yeah, that's fundamental. That's fundamental.
And so until you get a fan base, you need to keep your butt on Spotify, keep out there. And once you get a following, once you get some people like 1,000 or so monthly subscribers on Spotify, then you can start saying to yourself, I got a special remix that I'm only making available on my platform. If you want it, come this way. You know what I mean?
Well,
you start luring them. Yeah.
You're right. The thing is, personally, I think artists should start to gather their fans and start building that relationship with their listeners before they get to 1,000 monthly listeners or whatever, because it takes a lot of effort to get to that point.
Right.
Put some of that effort into actually being able to build a relationship with those people on a regular basis. Whether you're doing a podcast, a radio show, you're sending emails on a regular basis, you're posting on a regular basis, you're doing live streams on a regular basis. But you're gathering those folks' information to a point where you own it. I advocate building up an email list and keeping those emails where you can actually nurture those folks.
Right.
You don't have to wait until you can start with your 3 monthly listeners. And
right, Joshua.
You know, you start there, start somewhere, right? You don't have to wait until you get to 1,000, because by the time you get to 1,000, you're already missed out on a bunch of people who would have signed up for your mailing list, but you didn't ask them. So ask them just at the start, right? And as you're out there and you're putting, and Patreon and stuff, you're out there, you're putting out content, you're constantly putting out your call to action. Join my mailing list, or follow me on Spotify, or whatever, you know, and giving out, you know, you're giving them some value, and you're constantly talking to them. And part of having this email list is doing sales campaigns. That's where the money comes in. You do the sales campaign over a week or two. You're asking them to buy your album or whatever, and you're asking them to buy it from your website where it is counted for the charts, and that money comes to you instead of to Amazon, where you're getting maybe 50%, but on your own website, you're getting the bulk of that money, right? The payment gateway is going to charge you 29 cents plus 3% or plus 30 cents or something like that. But the rest of it comes to you, and you can pay yourself out of that money, you know, and you can use that money to buy a new guitar or go on tour or whatever it is you want to do, right? Buy yourself a new microphone, like that fancy one that Ron has, you know, but having your own platform, having
Dray too.
having a place where where you are driving the conversation, you are in control of what happens. This is what you want, because the industry is going to do what the industry is going to do.
Right.
But as you're putting yourself out there, make sure that you are, you know, so many artists they're hiring radio promoters, and you know, and some of y'all are getting songs played on all these different stations, and then the song ages off the rotation, and then what? All of those listeners who listened to the song, maybe some of them liked it,
right?
Maybe some of them liked it enough to Google you and come to your website. So then they go to your website. Then what? Did you ask them to do anything? Did you ask them to sign up for your mailing list? Did you give them some sort of value that made them want to stick around? If not, you missed a huge opportunity.
There you go.
Because you're not going to get in front of that person again until you pay your radio promoter again another big old pile of money to do another going for ads campaign to the radio station. And then it's the same cycle over and over again.
It's like, when you going to get it?
Right. If you put that comment that Joshua just put about the email list and Bandcamp, put that back up, because I really want to draw attention to Noise Trade. Noise Trade is a phenomenal platform. And I want to say it's under a different name now, but Google Noise Trade. And if you're an artist out there that's just starting out, and what we're talking about is collecting email. You can put your music on Noise Trade for free and accept donations. And you say, hey, you can download this for free, put your email address in, and we'll send you a link. And it's called Paste Magazine. That's right. And what happens is you put your email address in, you get the link, but guess what? I get to keep your email address. Right? And now I'm collecting email addresses. And I'm collecting donations that go to my PayPal. And so what eventually happens, now I have about 200-300 email addresses. And something that I want to piggyback on what Simone said that I want independent artists to understand. If you are not collecting email addresses, if you are not connecting with that and owning your audience, every release, you're starting over.
Right.
That's very good, Danny. That's
every release, if you don't have your email list, if you don't have contacts, if you're doing shows and you don't have a place where somebody is not gathering email addresses for you, or you don't gather email addresses, and I'm not talking social media. Social media is a whole separate, different animal. I'm talking about email addresses that go directly to these people, right?
Right.
If you don't get those lists, you're starting over every time. You don't own your audience, and that is going to be very crucial to building your fan base. Because what winds up happening, the bigger your fan base is, the more leverage you actually have.
There you
Absolutely.
go.
To start doing things in the future that maybe the industry will go, why is there a shift in the force with that one? You know what I mean? And then now you're in a position to start dictating terms. But that doesn't happen unless you own your fan base.
Right.
And that's your leverage.
Yeah. And so here's another thing I wanted to tack onto that too, is that a lot of people, they feel like email is obsolete. It is not. Social media is a great place where people gather. So it's a great place to find people. So you go out there, you're posting your stuff, you're doing live streams, that kind of thing, right? But you don't own any of the email addresses of the people who are watching your live stream.
Right.
So they may come back, they may not, you don't know. But if you have their email address, it's easier to sell to them. It's easier to remind them of when you're doing your live streams or whatever, you're coming to their town to do a show or anything like that, right? People behave different on social media versus email. People buy from email. On social media, people are just there to hang out and see what their cousins are doing, see what their, ex-girlfriends and boyfriends are doing. They're there to hear gossip, stuff like that. They're not taking action and buying.
She just put it out there. Stalking your exes and stuff.
I have a couple of exes that have been stalking me on Facebook.
Oh Lord.
Well, I'm glad this is on record.
I know, right?
This is what people do on social media. This is how I know, because they've been stalking me.
But here's the thing, and this goes back to business principles. They talk about blue water versus red water. What does that mean? That means if you think about the old movie Jaws, right? What happened when there was red in the water? All of the sharks just go, right? It becomes an eating frenzy. It's so much stuff in social media land right now that it looks like a feeding frenzy, and everybody, and the one thing that I have to tell artists is just because one strategy worked for somebody else, that doesn't necessarily mean that same strategy is going to work for you. A lot of times people will try to copy what they think is successful and then blame everybody and their grandma why it don't work. Right? Because you're doing everything that you see is successful. So guess what? Now you have all these copycat fish coming in to the red water. And if you have somebody over here that's doing something completely different, now people are going, what are they doing over there? And that's who starts getting the attention.
That's the purple cow syndrome, right?
Yeah.
You're driving through and you're from the city, so you don't see cows that often. And when you see a field of cows, it's like, ooh, wow, it's great. But you keep driving past all these different fields of cows, it gets boring after a while. But you're going to stop when you see one that has a purple cow in it.
Right. That's good.
This is different.
See, you know what? No. This ain't even right. I'm up here talking about sharks. Simone had to talk about purple cows. I'm doing. What's going on, Joshua?
Great job. Hey, Josh, welcome, Josh.
How's it going? Thanks for the invite.
Hey, no problem. And for those who don't know, hey, Josh, tell us a little bit about yourself, man, and because we were talking about with Christian hip hop and things, and tell us about your stance in the music industry.
Well, like you were saying earlier, I used to work for Jam the Hype. Did their social media and all their submissions and everything like that. So everything we posted on the site, I basically went through, made sure it made the cut and all that good stuff. But yeah, I've been following Christian hip hop since it was gospel rap back in like the 90s, 96, 97.
Yeah.
And been just an avid, music lover, man. But I mean, and not just CHH, but like electronic stuff and things like that. And I'm also a DJ on the side. As you can see behind me, I'm about to start
Nice.
doing mobile streams and things like that as well. So yeah, that's me.
Awesome, man. And when you were working there or so, and again, this is not about you now, but just for us, I know you got a lot of submissions. How did y'all handle music that I guess really wasn't up to par that y'all thought was good, pretty much?
Wait. I gotta see how politically correct he gonna answer this. Let me sip a little bit.
I mean, we're all family here, right? So I can speak plain, right?
Yeah, keep it plain.
If the submission wasn't done right, so if it was just an email that got sent in and said, "Here's my track," I didn't even listen to it. If you didn't fill out the information the way that it was supposed to be filled out, if you didn't tag your track correctly, for me, if the ID3 tags weren't done correctly, I didn't listen to it. It was just all the way to I would borderline if the music cover artwork wasn't on the track, I might or might not listen to it. So that was the big thing. Now, once it got past that gate, if the production, the mastering was garbage, I'm sorry. You gotta have excellence in what you do. Or if maybe you have like a limited amount of money, or you have a limited setup or something like that. I might come back and say something like, especially if they replied, when we said that we didn't accept the submission or something like that. If they reply, say, "Hey, what can I do?" I'm like, "Man, you got to get your production better. You got to get the mastering better. You got to get the vocals better. Man, your peaks in audio are just you're distorting too much, stuff like that." So,
wow. Hey, there y'all have it. I mean, again, you have to put yourself in excellence. Do things in excellence. Take your time. Stop rushing just to get a project out or to hear my music. It's like
decency and in order,
right?
And make sure you have somebody other than your family listening to your music.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Make sure that it ain't your cousin and them.
Right.
That's gassing your head up. That's gonna tell you the next whoever, and you get out there looking foolish because you got this background hum. You got samples that still have the tag on them because you didn't lease the beat. You just kind of jack the beat. And somebody like Josh is going to listen to that and be like, now I know that he knows that he's supposed to pay for that and get that tag off of there. But okay. Yeah. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And don't send the Panda remix with your own flow on it. Don't do that. Don't do that.
He said Panda remix.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
You would be surprised the amount of people that are out there who just want to be successful. It has nothing to do with spreading the gospel. It has nothing to do with the uplifting of people. It has nothing to do with making inspiring people to be their best self. They just want to be successful at all costs. I remember one time, and I promise y'all, I had a stripper that wanted me to remix a song for her so that she could do gospel music while she was performing.
Wow.
Right.
Pole dancing for Jesus. Hey.
Exactly.
I've seen it.
And my mind was like, you can't be serious. And
like, am I being punked right now?
I know.
Man, I'm not going to hell for you.
Pole dancing.
But you do know that if you put, for Jesus on the end of anything, doesn't make it right? I mean,
yeah.
Wow,
I mean,
that sounds like desperation.
Yeah, going to hell for Jesus is indeed an oxymoron. But no.
Now, Josh, now for with Jam the Hype and other platforms out there, all right, your duties or as the organization was pretty much just to present the artists and their music, put it out there for the public. All right, but it was up to them to build their fan base. Correct?
Yes. Yeah. So as far as an outlet goes, I mean, and that could be anybody, right? So
right.
I mean, obviously the big dog out there is Rapzilla, but I mean, Rapzilla, Jam the Hype, whatever. We as an outlet, we would post the article on the site, the submission on the site, and then obviously there would be social media blasts that would go out by us on our social media accounts. But as far as us building the audience for the artist, all we're doing is bringing attention to a song that you've done. So if you don't already have an existing group that are following you, that know your music, that are listening to you, then it's oh, hey Mary, good to see you. Good to see you.
Oh yeah.
But Mike Jeezy's one of my favorite artists. I'll just go ahead and say that.
Same here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We know Mike. Yes.
But yeah, no, that's the thing. Like the media outlets are not a means to an end. They're not a way for you to get famous.
Thank you for saying that.
And if that's your goal, if that's your end game, then you're going to be sorely disappointed.
And broke.
Yeah, exactly.
Just saying.
Hey, she just put it. Hey, and broke, most definitely. Hey.
Well, yeah, because I mean, if you're putting your hopes and dreams on one single being posted on a media outlet and having that bring acclaim to fame, then it's really idolatry when it comes down to it. If you want to get thick with it,
speak that.
Because if you're not doing the work on your end, it's not like it was back in the day where record companies did all the promotion,
right?
And you just did your thing. Now it's up to you for the most part, unless you're paying people to do it, to let them know, hey, I got music coming out. This is who I am. This is what I do. This is where I'm going to be. Unless you hire a promoter, it's your job to get bookings, to go to get venues, to get, shows, or to collab with people to do that. It really falls on you, to build that foundation. Because if you don't do that, then you're just going to be grasping at straws, trying to get one thing to do it all. And it doesn't work like that.
So you should not be working harder than the artist, pretty much.
No. No, not unless they're paying you for it. Now, if they're paying you for it, then and you're earning that check, then yeah.
You need to be working just as hard.
You know what? I'm going to even go a step further. I don't care if they are paying you for it. I still want to outwork you, even if I'm paying you.
I got you. Yeah.
If I'm Flash, I want you to be Superman. I want us both pushing, because that's really the only way you're going to be successful. Because if you can't get out there and work hard, what's going to happen when you start, the touring opportunities come? What's going to happen when, you got to get out there and drive to certain venues and really, really start grinding it out? If it's not in you, then all of that's really all you're doing is really wasting money.
Yeah.
You're making Jocelyn them some money, which is great. But as far as your career and your calling and your why, just if you're not willing to work hard, find something else to do.
Yeah, totally.
That's pretty much what it boils down to. Again, guys, if y'all got any questions or comments, feel free to ask us. I mean, again, Josh has pretty much been echoing a lot of the things that we've been saying to you all. All right, and he's getting from a different perspective, and get.
I'm gonna ask Josh a real since he crawled up into the spotlight. since I'm gonna put him in the hot seat. Josh, what is it going to take for Christian hip hop to finally get some structure, to get some validity, to get some unity?
Yes.
What is it really going to take after all of this time for it to start getting its sea legs? What is it going to take?
That is a loaded question that I probably do not have a full answer to. But I saw a post by one of my artist friends, and he pulled it from somewhere else, but he said, where do you see CHH
I saw that
in the next 5 to 10 years? And I think Rapzilla did like the original post on it, but I said, my hope is that CHH artists would see discipleship go hand in hand with ministry and artistry. And number two, that churches would see the music, specifically CHH as a whole, as a tool to fulfill the Great Commission and not be opposed to it. Because that's one of the things that I see with a lot of CHH artists that I talk with or that I have a relationship with, is that churches want nothing to do with it. Just because they don't, they've got, I mean, obviously they've got various reasons for why they might be opposed to it. But as far as unifying, it really comes down to the heart. Because I know, and I'm sure all of you know artists who are in this for the kingdom grind, right? Mm-hmm. They're in this to see His kingdom come, His will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And there's no insecurity there, because they're maturing as disciples in Christ. They're not opposed to partnering or giving support to other artists who are out there, because we all realize that we're here for the same purpose. And I'm not threatened if I'm not threatened as an artist if God gives you a promotion and you get signed by Capitol, or you get signed by Reach, or you get signed by Reflection. I'm not threatened by that, because I'm in my lane. I know where I'm at. I know what God is doing with me.
There you go. You know your why.
So it's one of those things where it's like, I got to have that mind of Christ. It's we call it Christian hip hop, right?
Right.
So we got to put the front back on that, where it's not just a subgenre of hip hop. It's focused and Christ centered. And more so than just what's coming out of my mouth when beats are dropping, but what does my life look like? What's my interaction with venues, and am I coming in to serve, or am I coming in to be served? Does it matter if I have a bowl of fruit and 16 sodas in the green room, or is it okay if I have a bottle? It's okay if I get water out of the water fountain, because the church could only afford to bring me in, and I'm sleeping in one of their back rooms. I mean, this is we got to get back to that. At least from my perspective, we have to get back to that heart of a servant, man.
Come on. Hey, Josh, let's answer this question here. If y'all want to take it, should Christian music, regardless of genre, concentrate more on entertainment than their edification message?
Okay, first of all, let me be first. Let me be first, because I feel like this is a grenade, so I'm a jump on this grenade.
Are you about to spill the tea?
I'm about to jump on this grenade for Josh, because he's new. If you do that, now I'm one that I believe that Christian artists have a right to be entertained, right?
Mm-hmm.
I believe that if you're a Christian, you might just want to make music. It might not be about edification. It might not be about spreading the gospel. It could just very well be, I want to create music so that I am not ashamed to play it in front of my kids.
Mhm.
However, if you're doing that and you're going away from the message, stop calling it what it's not.
I agree.
Yeah.
If you're going to do it, call it anything but Christian. Because what winds up happening, if you're calling Christian music something that is not, then you're actually confusing somebody out there, and you're going to have them thinking that this is it. This is the purpose. This is whatever. And really all it is entertainment. You know what I mean? So that kind of thing, let your yay be your yay, your nay be your nay, and call it what it is. Do what you're supposed to do. If it's Christian music, then be a Christian while you're doing it. Even if you're just going to be entertaining, there needs to still be an element of Christ in your entertainment.
Agreed. Yes.
There still needs to be an element of that in the entertainment, in your entertainment. But as far as just if it's not going to be about Christ, then don't call it Christian. How about that?
Well said.
That's well, yeah. Ain't nothing else left to say on that one. Hey, that was. I mean, hey, it is what it is.
Well, Ron, I had to look up our friend here, and I know where he's based out of. And so Steelers fans always have to save a Titans fan. I'll just leave it like that.
Hey, don't worry about him, Josh. Hey, they ain't going nowhere.
I'm guilty by association. That's all that is. That's all that is. That's all that is. I mean, if I were to say, if I were to talk about how great the Patriots are, then I'd probably get some flag too. So,
well, hey, Tom Brady. Hey, I like him, but I'm glad he's going out of there because I'm a Miami Dolphins fan. So, hey, it is. I wish you would have came to us, but oh well. Man, hey, but great answer there, Danny, and great question there, Eric. Thank you so much for asking that. And again, knowing your why, knowing why you're doing what you're doing, bottom line. Okay. And again, even in that, you got to build a fan base. You got to get out there, consistent visibility in front of the consumers. Bottom line. As y'all have heard me say before, my phrase, the music industry is about R&B, relationships and budgets. Simple as that. And don't use sympathy as a try to get you some free promotions and free services, because that don't work. Well, hey man, what's up, DJ Conversion, man? Hey, I thought you were supposed to hit me up, man. Aren't you in my town? Man, come on. Yes, hey, DJ Conversion, he's the owner of Transformation 12.2 Radio. So you all definitely go in and get that app. Check it out, transformation12.2.com. I'm on there as well. And so, yeah, man. Hey, Josh, man, thank you so much for coming on, man. You know you're more than welcome to come back anytime now.
Yeah, right. Thank you for the invite. This has been I got my feet wet.
All right, you got your feet. Hey, man, because you're in the industry and you were on a major platform in Christian hip hop, Jam the Hype. And again, so definitely any tips or so that that you can give to share with some of the viewers out here, we definitely love to have you.
Hey, you've been definitely the past couple of weeks you've been dropping nuggets in the comment section, and so we really appreciate that. And you have an open invitation to come on back, especially during football season, sir.
Yes. Well, you know what? Simone doesn't really watch football, but she's a Washington football fan since she's from the DMV area. So yeah, the team with no name, pretty much.
Boy.
Yes. Boy. Well, hey, we want to thank you all so much for allowing us to be a part of your night here in the Music Industry Makeover. Again, if you would like to get in contact with us, all right, we're all on here. Make sure you go visit my man Dray, the producer. There's his website there. See all the things that he has going on. Definitely want to send shout outs to all the advertisers and sponsors that help make this show happen, and others on it. Go visit my company there, musicindustrymakeover.com. All right, and see everything we have. A marketing promotions company, because we create the platforms and control the exposure. So if we say that you're going to be seen or heard here, we can guarantee that because we own it. Bottom line, just like shows like this. And also go and check out Eshe Music. Hey, Simone, tell a little bit about what you do.
Well, with Eshe Music, my goal is to help artists make money. Artists who have been in this for a long time. You've been putting out music for a while, and you've never really made much of an income with your art. I help artists to do that by helping them to brand themselves, build their fan bases, and run actual sales campaigns and nurture these fans.
There you go. Awesome. So go check out the website. See whatever it is that she has to offer that will fit your needs. I'm sure you will find use of it. All right. Hey, now what's with Browns fans and Falcons fans?
Who in the world let a Browns fan in here?
And my wife would say the clowns.
Oh my God! Before we go, I want to talk about next week. If everything goes okay, we're looking to have Shaka Stewart, who's an entertainment attorney out of Atlanta, the Charlotte and Atlanta area, and he's going to be talking about financial planning and estate planning for independent artists.
Wow.
In the wake of a lot of these recording artists who unfortunately pass away and don't leave wills. And, the state now has to determine where your assets go. A lot of us in the industry who have music, we're getting streams. Those streams, last pretty much forever. That has to be, you have to arrange who's going to get that money after you're no longer here. So he's going to be bringing a wealth of that information and talking about that and some other things as well. So it looks like it'll be a very, very exciting show next week.
So y'all definitely want to tune in as well. Hey, Josh, I don't know if you know any business that you have going on, but you want to say anything to the people out there?
If you're in the Middle Tennessee area, I'm a mobile DJ, and so weddings, parties, outreaches, all that wonderful stuff. You can just hit me up, djjshane.com. All
right. Yes. Awesome, man. And I definitely want to talk with you later on because, like I say, man, you have a wealth of knowledge and that can definitely help artists out here. So thank you so much. Well, hey, man, hey, you know what? Y'all were on track last year, man. Y'all got a super team, just like with the NBA or whatever, and y'all still couldn't go to the next level. So,
the only way they're going to be on the right track, they find a way to clone Jim Brown. How about that?
Hey, the greatest running back. Yes. So pretty much. But other than that, hey, it is what it is. Football season is coming up. Praise the Lord. Looking forward to it. All right. Well, hey, remember you guys matter in the kingdom of God. So don't compare yourself or your ministry to anyone else. Just do what God's called you to do, and you'll be just fine. All right. We'll see you for the next week, Lord's willing, for another segment of the Music Industry Makeover. You all be safe out there.